Old lady lost in the city, middle of a cold, cold night. It's 14 below, the wind started to blow. There wasn't a Boy Scout in sight. Pull down the shade 'cause it's coming. Turn off the light for his here. Running hard down the street through the snow and the sleet on the coldest night of the year. Beware, beware, beware of the naked man.
Be well, the naked man. That's right.
Be well.
Well, the naked man. Nudists are worrying that interest in naked public displays has taken a downturn in recent years.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're
That
afraid they're going to lose their
You
their
got
sport.
it. You got it. They're afraid they're going to lose their sport. Now, this is not even American. This is European. I
No.
was waiting for a childish joke there. The German Association of Free Body Culture, DFK, is concerned.
DFK?
I don't know what that is. I don't know. That's
Culture with a K.
something. Is concerned that people aren't bearing it all as membership has declined and people seem to be losing interest in going au natural. So here's the thing that I start to think. Like in the United States, not very popular, right?
Yeah.
I remember being told about an article that Giselle did, Tom Brady's ex. Living in Brazil, she goes, growing up, we were naked all the time. Me and my sister, always naked. And it is a weird thing, like, did you ever see your mom naked?
Never.
Never once.
Not once.
Did you ever see your mom naked?
Nope.
Never saw your mom naked. I think I walked in maybe once and heard a scream. Yeah, something like that. But that was it.
My promiscuous child.
Ever. Fuck you.
Not you. I thought it would be Kevin.
Did you
Moran, not me.
did you
right. Let's clarify.
Did you ever see your dad naked?
Yes, but
Oh, wait.
when he had cancer,
Oh, well,
it doesn't count.
No, it
like
doesn't.
I had to like help him.
Yes.
So that
That's
before
way
that,
different.
you know what he said? He
No,
goes,
why you gotta make me feel bad?
By the
Like,
way-
now I feel bad.
by the way, you know what he said? He goes, it's like a shriveled pretzel, ain't it, Dan? Because of the chemo and everything else.
Oh, I
He's
understand.
like-
I understand.
He made a joke, but he made levity out of
Well,
it.
you
It was
can't
funny.
help it. You
Right.
can't help it. Ever see your dad naked?
No.
No. Have your kids ever seen you or your wife naked? That you know of?
When they were little, like in
Yeah.
the shower and stuff.
Yeah.
When they were real little.
You know what my favorite was? This was my favorite. My favorite, and I didn't even realize what happened. I don't know if the boys came in and I was going to the bathroom and they just walked in and I didn't make a big deal about it. I just finished going to the bathroom. And later on, my mother-in-law told me that they came down and go, Dad's got a huge one, man. And I was like, you got to get them young. You got to get them when they're little. Get them when they're 4 or 5.
Wasn't
Which
there-
sounds terrible. I don't mean it like that.
Well,
but I'm saying,
when they're little, everything looks bigger.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying.
Was it-
Now
You
they're
got to go
dad-
when they're
dad's
little
Irish.
kids. When they're little kids, you got to go. Like if you're gonna be around naked as a man, you got to get it while they're very tiny little guys.
I remember like you telling a story. You had a pool party with your kids' friends at the house once. You were in the pool and you tried to get out of the pool and your shorts came down.
Yeah.
And some kid goes, "Hey, Mr. Moran, you have a furry butt."
Yes, that is true. That is true. I don't know how. I don't know. That's so funny. That is very true. I don't know. Are we uptight? Because everywhere else seems to be okay with being naked. You know what I'm saying? Other parts of the world seem to be okay. Toronto, this past weekend, they had their 20th anniversary of the naked bike ride. They have the rideshare bikes, just like they do in Rochester and everywhere else. And they were encouraging people, if you're going to use it, please wipe down please wipe down the seat.
That's what that stink was yesterday coming across the lake.
Now, here's the question. Are you comfortable with your own body?
Yeah.
You are?
Well,
Well, no.
define comfortable.
What?
Am I going to walk around shirtless?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you're not comfortable.
No, because there's nothing to
being
see.
in public.
Yeah.
Not
It's not that
comfortable.
I'm not comfortable. It's just that nobody wants to see that.
Okay, but all right.
If I walked
Well,
around with
what
like
the fuck is it
guns,
then, Danny? Hang on a second, because to your point, would you go to Empire Haven?
no.
Kevin, would you go to Empire Haven?
I don't know.
That's an interesting
be a game
answer.
time decision.
That's a
I
game.
think.
I'm with you on that. If I were forced to go, I'm kind of open to it.
Is Greg going? Okay, I'll go.
Stop.
That's a hard no. Then
No, but
He's got 2 bullets.
okay, but when you go to these places and you see the pictures and things, if you go, this is all from the nudist article I found in the New York Post. If you see the pictures, it's all people who are a little saggy. They're not in great shape.
No, they're
one's
never in
there.
great shape.
And I always wonder, is it a kink thing? Because you could be home naked. Like we started talking about nudity. So I closed the curtains, closed the blinds, everything in my place, and I walked around naked. That was kind of cool. And then I sat down, and I laid down the towel because I was like, I don't know what's going to
the
happen.
one chum on the couch.
No,
Didn't wipe so good.
I sat there and I was writing, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I'm not punching those jokes of you right. I'm naked.
I can't do this. I can't sit around naked and do it. I need at least underwear on. I need the nethers covered. What is that?
I can't even sleep naked.
Did you try the sock like Flea?
No.
Try going just sock.
Yeah. The sock on. I'm just
Chili,
saying.
cover
like,
your chili pepper.
I'll bring
Well,
you one of Brady's.
now, look, remember the show we How old's Brady? No. Go. Remember the show we talked about? I think it was called
Family Guy?
Naked Attraction Show.
Yeah.
It was the dating show, and they revealed
Yeah.
from
It was British.
up to the knees.
Yes.
And then the knees up to the junk. And
Yeah.
then the junk. And then you saw the last thing you saw was the
Their face.
person's face. But they all stood there naked. And people were completely. I mean, I know they had to be. I would love to have a heart rate monitor on somebody on that show just to see how nervous they really were when it was happening. But I go, well, and here's the thing. I don't get what's the idea behind like the naked beach when you could be naked at home. I think my mother would have happily been a nudist. She would always talk about when no one was home, she walked around naked. She would be out in the backyard. Like we had area rugs. She'd throw them over the side of the deck and she'd beat them. She goes, yeah, I'd be all naked.
Oh, hey, Carl.
Well, you couldn't see anybody. It was so rural. Like it was all, we had all woods and everything. You couldn't, it was nothing. So that's the thing is like, I go, all right, but then would you take that a step further? Could you hang out with other, because here's the thing. I wouldn't be able to keep eye contact. I wouldn't. I couldn't keep eye contact. There would be no fucking way.
What are you looking at, though? I mean,
I'm looking at the junk. I'm looking at
okay, all right,
everything. I'm
okay.
looking at it all. I'm looking at your balls. I'm wondering if they dip in the water when you sit down and take a shit.
Man, George is really hung.
Okay.
I wonder if he's looking at me the same way.
No, if you're a grower or a shower, I get all that stuff. But I'm like, oh, ladies with their big floppy titties going in each direction, it's like boob sweats coming down. I couldn't. I would
He's got
not
a
be
Mets
able to
logo
keep
shaved
contact.
into his ass.
Well, because I'm just thinking and I don't know if this whole thing in our country where we're more and more uptight than the rest of the world. I would say I don't know about Asian countries, and I don't know about the Middle East. I would assume.
Oh, the Middle East, I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no as well. But I'm thinking like South American countries, probably a little freer. Maybe Central American countries, a little freer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. European countries, it seems like they are.
Well, according to like progressive standards, whatever those are, they say that Europe's always a generation ahead as far as that stuff goes. What happens in Europe will happen here in 20 years.
Okay, so all right, but then I go, how did we get so uptight in this country? What made it?
Well,
that way?
okay, the
Was it
Pilgrims were
Puritans?
Puritans.
That's what I'm wondering. And if you look, what's the closest thing we have to Pilgrims today in modern America? Right in this area where you can go and buy puppies, furniture.
Oh, Amish.
Yeah. And they have sex through what? The pure Amish, I think, sex through a sheet so your body doesn't.
I thought that was like some type of Jewish thing. I didn't know if that was Amish.
I think it's Amish.
Because they did an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm about it.
Are they cutting holes in the sheet like they're the KKK?
You
What
got
the
it.
hell?
There's a hole in the sheet.
Well, there's
and
the
you
old
poke
story
through.
that they used to have
You
to
come
like
through.
hang the sheet out outside the house to show the tokens of their daughter's virginity or something like that after a marriage. Did you ever,
No! Oh,
Yeah.
It's like
God.
the worst glory
Yeah, it's
hole ever.
disgusting.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. Some societies did that, but I just in America, I think because are we too uptight or are we too modest? And I don't think those are necessarily the same thing. For every person who's modest, there's somebody else who's like, hey, who cares, baby? Show it off.
Well, right.
I'm more uptight going to the beach around like you assholes taking my shirt off than when I'm like out of state on vacation. I don't give a shit. I'm never going to see those people again. But you
Right.
assholes, I'm going to see all the time.
Yeah.
And you're
What
Yeah,
are we
but
gonna
you
do?
should-
making fun of me.
What are we going to say?
Hold
Look
on.
at the hair on his back. Look at the
But does
like
that-
you with the
does
dot
that-
to dot.
Yeah.
Does that bother you though? It shouldn't.
That you assholes make fun of me?
Yeah.
If Kevin fell asleep,
It sounds like it bothers you that we would make fun of you.
yes, it does, Bob.
Would it bother you if we made fun of you?
No, there's nothing to make fun of.
Yes, there is.
Well, there is, but I'm just saying I don't care.
Take your shirt off, Dan. Let's see what we got here. See what we're working with.
Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah,
I would. We make jokes about trying to push Kevin back into the sea. People thought it was a manatee that beats up on there. They started screaming, "Whale, whale!" They were on a whale.
There was a Family Guy where Peter tried to
Yeah.
get a forklift license, tried to move a whale back into
Christ.
the sea. You're
All right.
welcome.
Well, how about if you were part of a nudist group? What would be the slogan to try to get people to come back? Like, what if you sat outside with one of those tables?
Just grow it.
And I clothes are overrated. Change my mind.
Share it, and
Right?
show it.
Share it and show it. Come for the freedom. Stay for the minimal laundry.
Leave the luggage.
Leave the luggage. I go. It's just interesting because I don't know anybody who would want to go. Like I'd almost be curious with my kids. Would they go to a nudist? Because they're
Well,
young.
I remember we called a nudist colony back in like 2011, and you talked about bringing Jenna and the kids over to that, and they say, yeah, we welcome families.
Yeah.
We do have standards though, but
Yes.
it's pretty safe.
Yes.
And you were actually considering bringing your family to a nudist. I don't
Yeah,
think you were
probably.
serious.
No, I
but on
wasn't.
the air, you sounded kind of
Yeah.
serious about
Yeah.
it, like intrigued.
Well, I'm still intrigued by the idea.
So much so that we did a naked show
Yes.
later that week.
We did do a naked show, but so
Well, you did. I didn't.
yeah. Danny wouldn't participate in that, which is fine.
Yeah.
I think that makes it. I don't know. I just look. You don't even have to worry about your matching outfit when you leave the house, right? Stressing over clothes.
No.
Am I wrinkled?
Am I matching?
Am I matching? Is everything okay?
Yeah, being colorblind
You just
doesn't
don't
impact
care.
me anymore.
How would Greg go? He wouldn't be able to get a tattoo of the Connors and Ferris on his arm and the Bills logo. That's all he ever wears.
That's the other thing too. You go to a nudist colony, man. People with tattoos. That's the whole conversation. Is their ink? It's got to be because people have tattoos that are like often hidden,
Yeah.
but what they are, they're conversation pieces. So like, hey, so what's the tattoo stand for? Oh, it's it's to remember my son or my daughter, or my
Yeah.
grandmother, or my mother.
Right.
Or,
It used to be a Lamborghini, now it's a dump truck.
That's a weird thing. I did see, speaking of Lamborghini, since Kevin brought it up, with college sports, I saw the University of Texas.
yeah.
And they were bringing in recruits.
I saw this.
and they had a whole row of Lamborghinis. I'm wondering if I understood the context because all I saw was the picture and the caption, and it gave the impression that the kids got the opportunity to drive these cars. Now, I will just say that anybody that owned these cars, I'm not thinking the kids were driving it. I may be wrong, but. Like I think it's a cool thing, but any guy I know who owns a Lamborghini or anybody is not letting some punk ass kid sit behind the wheel of that car. I'm just saying.
Oh, no way.
Not a chance.
No.
So are they being driven around in it to show the thing but everything made you feel like the kids got to drive the car.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to anybody, I don't think so.
Or you come here, you'll be able to buy one of these yourself.
Well, that may be. Because of the NIL deals.
So when's your recruiting visit? I heard you're going back.
I mean, but the NCAA's
over 50 tries out again?
the NCAA now is like the wild, wild west. Like,
Sure it
they
is.
can't control it anymore.
But
There's no
all right,
compliance.
so there's two things with this. I think that, like, when you saw it, what did you think?
I was like, wow, they're really reaching into the bag to get these kids to come to school here.
Did you think they were letting the kids drive them?
I got the impression that they were like showing the kids, hey, this is what you could get here.
Okay, I
if you
wasn't
come
sure
here.
because they were all lined up with the doors open. It looked like
I mean, if they're
they
going
were
to
on
drive
display.
them, they might be like, okay, we have a track in the back. You're going to have a driver with you.
Well,
as
anytime
go.
you do these things, right? There's something
So they
called.
can walk around and say, hey, look, I drove a Lamborghini.
Yes.
I mean, I recruit for a living, right? And there was one guy, my boss caught this. I talked to this guy, and I get my boss on the phone with him, and he goes, well, I could tell he's a phony right off the hop. I go, what do you mean? Danny, he's pictured. I don't know if you noticed that logo. I go, yeah, that's a Ferrari logo. He goes, yeah, there's no way he owns that car at the type of job that he does. He took a picture in a Ferrari just to say, hey, I drove a Ferrari.
Okay.
So my boss asked him, I goes, oh, yeah, that was at a show. That's not really, I don't really own that car. He goes, why would you put that as your LinkedIn profile then? And the guy kind of understood what he meant by that. Like,
Oh, well, on LinkedIn, I guess that's
you're
a
a
little
fake.
different. Yeah.
You look like you look foolish.
You want to kind of show what you're doing.
Right, you're a show off.
You could do that on Facebook. It
Yeah,
would be a little different.
right.
Because they have this thing called, I don't know if it's still around or not, the Motor Sports Lab. And the Motor Sports Lab is basically rich guys rent out their Lamborghini, but you get a driver and you do three things through cones. It's not even a real track. Usually I did it up in the Buffalo Bills parking lot, I think in lot 2 or something over on the side. And they set up a cone course. And so you can get up to, I don't know, you might touch 100 coming down a backstretch, but they take you around once with the instructor. You're in the passenger seat. Then they pull over. You get in the driver's seat, but you're not allowed to shift because everything's paddle shift. So they lean over and they're shifting. And that's why I'm saying I don't believe they're letting any recruit come and drive those
No.
cars.
It's all
But it
perception.
certainly made it look that way. And I go, so it wasn't put out there for positive things. It's going, look at what Texas is doing, bullshit that they're pulling. They're letting the and I'm going, wait.
It's a recruiting tactic.
It's a recruiting
It's all it
tactic,
is.
100%.
It's marketing.
It's how you do it.
Yes, it is, and that's the part
And
that
then,
I think
then I'll
people
come
don't
back
like.
to Texas and be like, Texas, you have Arch Manning on your roster, and he may not even see the field this year, and you're going to try to lure me with a Lamborghini?
No. Arch Manning looked good in spring ball, but that
Well, they got another quarterback who's really good.
yeah, but that would be the worst to be Arch Manning in my mind.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, that is so much pressure all the time. And you have this family name, 2 uncles that one was considered one of the best to ever play that position, and the other is a
Oh, don't forget the
two-time
grandfather,
Super Bowl.
your namesake.
yeah, but he was on shitty teams.
Yeah, he was. But
Yeah.
the point is that
The
you
other
come-
guys are Super Bowl
you-
winners,
yeah,
2-time Super Bowl
You
winners.
come from this legacy. But the thing is that like he's not pulling a Bronny James where I'm not getting playing time, so I'm going to go to the NFL, the NBA.
Yeah.
He's pulling this like, hey, I'm going to bide my time and I'm going to get my chance. He hasn't transferred. He hasn't done anything, which tells me either he's not that good and he still needs to develop, or he is that good. He goes, I'm going to get my chance. Just wait. And he's handling it with a lot of aplomb and class at this point.
Plumbing class.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You're
agree.
Arch Manning. You were the biggest recruit in America 2 years ago.
Right. That's what's going on. That's what's happening.
We got to pull out the Lamborghinis.
I saw that.
You know what I'm saying?
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, we'll take a moment. There's somebody who's in trouble from 315. I think we're
Oh,
going to
wow.
talk to Randy as well. This is interesting. I don't know how this happened. It's an interesting take. I was going to write the guy on Facebook, but then I thought, I'll just let him be. But I don't know. I don't understand how this could happen. We'll get to it next. But first.